tomorrow on ABC. Viewer discretion advised.
Tonight, Bill Cosby cuffed and sent to prison. The comedian and actor once called America's TV dad led away in handcuffs. Tonight, his sentence, what the judge said, and what Cosby's attorneys angrily declared afterward. And this evening, the first look at Cosby's booking photo. Also breaking, the Supreme Court showdown. Judge Brett Kavanaugh trying to save his nomination, the interview, and what his wife now says. You'll hear from her. The president lashing out today, already targeting the first accuser, now going after the second one. And tonight, word the Republicans have now hired an attorney to ask the questions for them. A mother's plea tonight, the FBI joining the case, the search intensifying for a missing young boy with autism. He is nonverbal. They are playing the parents' voices, hoping he'll hear them. And tonight, what they're now saying. Dangerous flash flood fears in the Northeast, and now the next system right behind it. D.C. to Philly, New York to Boston, set to get hit tomorrow. Rob standing by. President Trump at the UN today, what he declared his boast that drew laughter from world leaders. The uncomfortable moment, even the president then addressing it. And the dramatic takedown on this bridge after a man is thrown off the side.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. We have a lot to get to, and we begin tonight with Bill Cosby, once a beloved TV dad, and tonight a judge now determining that he is a sexually violent predator, ordering Cosby be cuffed and immediately sent to prison. A remarkable fall in full view in that courthouse today. The 81-year-old Cosby handcuffed, being led away there. His legal team responding a short time later with anger. What they declared. Cosby, his booking photo just in tonight, sentenced to 3 to 10 years behind bars. He was convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constand, who told the judge, quote, Bill Cosby took my beautiful, healthy young spirit and crushed it. ABC's Lindsay Davis in the courtroom today, and she leads us off tonight.
Mr. Cosby, any comments, sir?
Tonight, Bill Cosby is spending his first night behind bars after emerging from the courtroom in handcuffs today, sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison.
We've got justice!
Just after sentencing, Andrea Constand, the woman who Cosby was found guilty of drugging and sexually assaulting, with a smile, embracing former model Janice Dickinson, just one of roughly a dozen Cosby accusers who sat in court to witness this moment, holding hands with silent tears and fervent nods as the judge delivered what they're calling justice.
Did you ever think that this day was going to come?
I dreamt of this day for 32 years.
The judge also ruled today that Cosby will be classified as a sexually violent predator. While Cosby chose to stay silent, a portion of Constand's victim impact statement was read by the judge. Bill Cosby took my beautiful, healthy young spirit and crushed it. Cosby's wife of 54 years, Camille Cosby, was absent today, but his publicist blasting the trial.
This has been the most racist and sexist trial in the history of the United States.
Cosby plans to appeal his conviction.
For decades, the defendant has been able to hide his true self and hide his crimes using his fame and fortune.
It's been a long road, 34 months since his arrest. The former face of Jell-O and Coca-Cola, tonight pictured in this booking photo.
Because I said so. I said it's beautiful, okay?
I love you.
I love you too.
The once beloved TV dad told by the judge that no one is above the law. I cannot offer special treatment because of who he is or who he was. Fallen angels suffer most.
You are a sinful and disgusting human being, and until your death, you deserve every bit of suffering that jail time and prison might bring to you.
Just hours after the defense argued 81-year-old Cosby is too blind and infirm for prison,
Bill! Hey!
Cosby seen here walking into the county jail.
And Lindsay Davis with us live tonight. She's been covering this case from the start. You were in that courtroom, Lindsay. Can you describe Bill Cosby's demeanor and what's going to determine here how much time Bill Cosby actually serves?
David, I would say that Bill Cosby didn't seem surprised by the outcome. I might even add that he appeared to be emotionally, mentally prepared. Now, after he serves 3 years, at that point, he would potentially be eligible to be released. At that point, a number of factors would go into determining just when he could walk a free man, including his age and also his behavior, David.
Lindsay Davis leading us off tonight. Lindsay, thank you. The other major story, the Supreme Court showdown, less than 48 hours away from that public hearing. Judge Brett Kavanaugh fighting to save his nomination, vehemently denying accusations of sexual abuse that have now been brought against him. Tonight, you'll hear from his wife as she now comes to his defense. And new tonight, how Kavanaugh's college roommate now describes him and the drinking. As President Trump stands by Kavanaugh tonight, taking aim now at Kavanaugh's second accuser. ABC's Terry Moran covering the court for years, back on this again tonight.
With the Supreme Court nominee battling multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, President Trump lashed out today, saying it was all just dirty politics.
I mean, I think it's horrible what the Democrats have done. It's a con game they're playing. They're really con artists.
And he went after one woman personally, Deborah Ramirez, who told The New Yorker Kavanaugh exposed himself in front of her face at a dorm party in college.
Well, I look at the second accuser. The second accuser has nothing. The second accuser doesn't even know. She thinks maybe it could have been him, maybe not. She admits that she was drunk. She admits time lapses. There were time lapses.
Ramirez has acknowledged she was drunk at that 1983 party, and she has gaps in her memory. But now she says she's certain it was Kavanaugh who did it. She and Christine Blasey Ford, who says Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her in high school, together seem to paint a picture of a young man who had frequent bouts of drunkenness and could, when drunk, sexually abuse women. In his Fox News interview, an emotional Kavanaugh said that couldn't be further from the truth.
When I was in high school, and I went to an all-boys Catholic high school, a Jesuit high school, where I was focused on academics and athletics, going to church every Sunday at Little Flower, working on my service projects, and friendship.
Kavanaugh's wife, Ashley, vouched for his character.
He's decent, he's kind, he's good, I know his heart. This is not consistent with Brett.
And Kavanaugh even announced in those high school and college years he was still a virgin.
I've never sexually assaulted anyone. I did not have sexual intercourse or anything close to sexual intercourse in high school or for many years thereafter.
Through all these years that are in question, you were a virgin.
That's correct.
But now some who knew him back then are disputing his claims. A classmate from Yale, Steve Kantrowitz, taking to Twitter. Perhaps Brett Kavanaugh was a virgin for many years after high school, but he claimed otherwise in a conversation with me during our freshman year in Lawrence Hall at Yale in the living room of my suite. And Kavanaugh's freshman roommate at Yale, James Roach, tells ABC affiliate KGO that based on my time with Brett, I believe that he and his social circle were capable of the actions that Debbie described. He described Kavanaugh as a heavy drinker who became belligerent and incoherently drunk. And Kavanaugh's high school yearbook page is filled with typically teen inside jokes that suggest a less straight-laced life than he's claimed, including Keg City Club treasurer, 100 kegs or bust, Beach Week Ralph Club.
In high school, I think all of us have probably done things we look back on in high school and regret or cringe a bit.
So let's get to Terry Moran live back at the Supreme Court again tonight. And Terry, you've just learned that the nominee, Judge Brett Kavanaugh, spoke with members of the Judiciary Committee today about the accusations now from this second accuser, Deborah Ramirez.
That's right, David. It was a telephone interview. Republican and Democratic staffers from the Judiciary Committee on the line with Judge Kavanaugh, who was answering questions under oath, under penalty of perjury, I should say, about this second allegation and laying the groundwork for the possibility of a questioning on this subject on Thursday.
And Terry, stay with us here because we were all struck this morning when we were watching GMA and we heard White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders tell ABC that the president would be open to having the second accuser, Deborah Ramirez, appear before the Senate Judiciary Committee as well. That's what she told George this morning. So is she slated to testify now?
Not yet, although the White House is saying let her speak on Thursday because they are very keen on getting this behind them and because they think they've got Republican votes, getting Kavanaugh on the court by next week.
Terry Moran with us again tonight. Terry, thank you. There is another major development on this. Judge Kavanaugh and his first accuser, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, will sit before the Judiciary Committee, before the American people, Thursday morning, taking questions, both of them. All of the Republicans on the committee are men. And there is word tonight that they've now hired a woman, an attorney, to ask the questions for them. Dr. Ford had argued those senators should have to ask her the questions themselves, and ABC's Mary Bruce up on the Hill on that.
As Republican leaders rally around Judge Kavanaugh, one key Republican senator, Lisa Murkowski, is sending her own party a clear message.
It's very important to take allegations of those who have come forward, to take them seriously.
Murkowski says she is undecided, telling the New York Times it's not about whether or not Judge Kavanaugh is qualified. It is about whether or not a woman who has been a victim at some point in her life is to be believed. But even before they hear one word of testimony from Christine Blasey Ford, it's clear many top Republicans have already made up their minds.
I'm confident we're going to win. I'm confident that he will be confirmed in the very near future.
Today, Republicans on the Judiciary Committee, all of whom are men, announced they've hired an outside counsel, a woman, to question Ford and Judge Kavanaugh on Thursday.
Does it have anything to do with the fact that all the Republicans on the committee are men?
Not for me, but I mean, I can't speak for my other colleagues, but I am a man, that's a fact.
Democrats are skeptical.
Clearly, they didn't want to ask the questions directly.
Republican Bob Corker says GOP senators on the committee need to protect themselves from themselves.
I think it's really smart of them to get outside counsel.
Why?
Somebody will do something that you guys will run 24/7, and you know, inadvertently somebody will do something that's insensitive.
So much debate on this on both sides. Mary Bruce joins us live from the Hill tonight. So Mary, just to clarify here, Republicans have hired that female attorney to ask questions on their behalf, not just of Dr. Ford, but of Judge Kavanaugh as well. And this is so the senators won't have to ask the questions themselves?
Yeah, David, this prosecutor will be leading the charge for all of the questioning on the Republican side, though senators tell us they may still jump in from time to time. Now, we still don't know who this attorney is. Her identity is being protected tonight for her own security. Now, on the Democratic side, those senators will still be doing their own grilling. David.
Right, Mary Bruce, I'll see you right up there on the Hill for the hearings. In the meantime, stay with ABC News for live coverage of the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. I'll be joining George and our entire team Thursday beginning at 10 a.m. right here on ABC. Next tonight, to the severe thunderstorm watch and possible tornadoes at this hour in the Midwest, moving into the Northeast. It will affect travel from D.C. to Philly, New York to Boston tomorrow. A separate system causing this EF0 tornado in Cannon County, Tennessee, 85-mile-per-hour winds. And heavy rain already here in the Northeast. This is the New York City metro area. Cars underwater in Bayonne, New Jersey. A backhoe brought in to rescue workers at a flooded factory in Fairview, New Jersey. And as I mentioned, it is not over. Another system right behind it. Let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano tracking it all for us. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. Big cities tonight from Chicago to Boston getting hit. You just showed the pictures out of the New York City area. Here's the radar with the highlighted counties in red that are enduring flooding right now. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Fairfield County alone getting over 4 inches, and it's not going to stop there. Also Kentucky, the Ohio River Valley, that threat will continue overnight. And then strong storms on the doorstep of Chicago right now. Some of these could have 60-plus mile-per-hour winds with a strong cold front moving quickly. By 4 p.m. tomorrow, we're looking at storms firing across parts of Pennsylvania. And then by 10 o'clock, Philadelphia to New York to Hartford, a large area at risk, David, of damaging winds tomorrow.
Rob Marciano with us on a wet night and a busy travel night there right behind you. Thank you. In the meantime, there was another major moment that made global headlines right here in New York City today. President Trump delivering his second address to the United Nations General Assembly today. And what he boasted of then drew laughter. Even the president himself then commenting on the reaction in the room. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
President Trump opened his speech to the UN with what's been a surefire applause line at his political rallies. But instead of cheering, the world's leaders laughed.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
The president today touted a go-it-alone approach he called the doctrine of patriotism.
America will never apologize for protecting its citizens.
Where last year he taunted North Korea's Kim Jong-un as Little Rocket Man, today he praised Kim's courage in the wake of the Singapore summit. But for Iran, harsh words.
I'm not meeting with them until they change their tune. It will happen. I believe they have no choice.
The president said he may meet with Iranian President Rouhani someday in the future, adding, "I'm sure he is an absolutely lovely man." For his part, Rouhani said he never asked to meet with the president today in the first place. And when it was his turn to speak, the Iranian president accused Trump of having a, quote, Nazi disposition.
So let's get to John Karl. He's with us live tonight again from the White House. And John, you've reported from the White House for years, covered several administrations now. Have you ever really seen anything like the reaction you saw there at the UN today?
Never seen anything quite like that, David. For his